Demon Slayer what ifs. What if Michikatsu and Yurichi were in the current era of Hashira and dated the Kocho sister? Part 1. Love is in the air. Michikatsu joined the Demon Slayer Corps with his little brother Yurichi. They then joined the Hashira. Michikatsu is 21 years old, and his younger brother Yurichi is now 18 years old. The master talks to the Hashira of how Yurichi and Michikatsu are now Hashira, and are the sun and moon Hashira. During their meeting, Kocho couldn't seem to stop looking at Michikatsu since he walked in. She wants to get to know him since he seems angry or always different. During the Hashira meeting, Michikatsu can sense that someone is looking at him and sees Kane looking at him. He looks a little confused and is wondering why she is looking at him. He decides he will talk to her after the meeting and ask why she is looking at him. Kane can't help but feel drawn to him and want to help him. She has a feeling that there is something that always makes Michikatsu mad, but can't find it. She thinks he's a lot like her sister Shinobu. The master dismisses the Hashira after the meeting is over. Kane walks up to Michikatsu while he is talking to his younger brother. Kane asks if they have a place to stay for now. They say no. Kane invites them to the butterfly mansion. During the time they are walking, she asks questions to the Tsugikuni brothers. Yurichi is mostly answering while Michikatsu rather stay silent. When they arrive at the butterfly mansion, the brothers are in shock to see how beautiful the place is. When they walk into the house, Shinobu sees Yurichi and Michikatsu and asks why they are here. They say they were invited by Kane since we don't have a place to stay since they are the new Hashira. Shinobu apologizes to them and shows them their rooms. Michikatsu spends some time outside looking up at the moon at the top of the butterfly mansion. Kane sees Michikatsu on the roof and visits him and asks him why he is on the roof, and that he should talk to her, that she wants to know what's wrong. Michikatsu sighs and tells her how he just wants to be like his brother, and how he is so mad that his brother is stronger than him and is better than him, and that he just wants to be like his brother. Kane comforts him and hugs him and tells him to be himself. He is not Yurichi's son Hashira. He is Michikatsu, the moon Hashira, and that he should be happy for his gift as moon Hashira. Michikatsu smiles at what Kane said and hugs her back. Meanwhile, with Yurichi, he settles into his room and gets comfortable and starts feeling hungry. He walks out his room but doesn't know where to go, so he starts walking around and looking for the kitchen. He runs into Shinobu, and she asks him where he is going. He asks if there is a kitchen cause he is hungry and really haven't eaten that much since he joined the corp and is hungry. Shinobu smiles and shows him to the kitchen. Yurichi smiles and thanks Shinobu. Shinobu blushes and walks off. Michikatsu thanks Kane and hugs her and leaves. See you in the morning. Kane Michikatsu goes to his room and gets comfortable and lays in his bed. He smells himself and goes and takes a shower or bath and then changes his clothes and goes to sleep and wakes up early to go train. He grabs a wooden katana and starts practicing. His brother joins him. They decide to go head to head. Kane and Shinobu wake up and see them about to fight. Kane routes for Michikatsu and Shinobu routes for Yurichi. Before they start, they take their shirts off. Kane and Shinobu are tomato red, blushing bad. Yurichi and Michikatsu stand across from each other, and in the blink of an eye they clash blades and start fighting so fast that Kane and Shinobu can barely keep up. They miss some parts of the fight because they can't keep up. Near the end they are more evenly matched, but Michikatsu loses. Shinobu screams yeah, Yurichi wins, while Kane awes and pouts that Michikatsu lost. Yurichi picks up Michikatsu. Michikatsu says, I almost had you, brother. They smile together, and Shinobu and Kane blush when they see the brothers smile together. They practice together more and more, and every time they go agents each other. More Hashira show up to see them practice agents each other. Tenjin is so amazed and calls them the flashy. Rengoku is amazed by their speed and their clashing of swords and says they have a huge flame in them. Kane can't stop looking Michikatsu and admiring how fast he is and how quick he swings his sword. While they are practicing, the master calls for a Hashira meeting for a mission. They quickly change and rush to the master's mansion. They kneel and greet the master. The master says there is a possible upper moon in a village, and he wants Kane to go and kill the demon. Michikatsu gets up and asks to go along since he feels like there is something wrong, that there is going to be a very strong upper moon. Yurichi also stands and wants to go as well. The master smiles and allows them to go on the mission. Together they bow and go off together. They walk to the mission site. When they get there, Michikatsu has a feeling of there is a very strong demon there. Yurichi says he's going to start at one side and meet them at a certain point. Kane wants to spread out too, but Michikatsu holds her hand and walks with her. Kane blushes and asks why is he holding her hand. Michikatsu says there are no people in sight, so it's a bad idea to separate. Yurichi is strong, he can handle himself. They walk into a room and Michikatsu sees a demon eating. Michikatsu draws his sword. The demon looks at Michikatsu Michikatsu sees the upper one in his eyes. Michikatsu tells Kane to go get Yurichi. He will hold off the demon while I wait for Yurichi. Michikatsu defends off the demon with his moon breathing when Kane gets Yurichi and tells him that Michikatsu is fighting Upper Moon One. When Yurichi hears, he grabs Kane and runs to Michikatsu. When Yurichi sees Michikatsu, he has some cuts on him and is injured. Yurichi tells Kane to stay back and let him and Michikatsu deal with the demon. Demon says his name is Doma Upper Moon One. Michikatsu tells Yurichi, we need to work together. Yurichi cuts Doma's limbs off quick with his sun breathing. Then Michikatsu finishes Doma by cutting off his head and kills him. Doma fades away and Michikatsu falls to the ground. Yurichi rushes to get Kane and tends to him and bandages the cuts he has. They go back to the master to report back to the master. They say that they came across Upper Moon One and that Michikatsu engaged in solo combat agents Upper One till Kane could go get Yurichi. When Yurichi arrived for backup, Michikatsu had some cuts on him but was still ready for combat. Yurichi supported and cut the demon's limbs off while Michikatsu killed Upper Moon One. Kane talked about how together they were fighting and how the demon couldn't even react before he was beheaded and dead. Michikatsu has a slight blush looking at Kane. The master praises Michikatsu for going into solo combat agents the demon and killing the demon. Michikatsu thanks master and the master allows them to leave. When they arrive back at the butterfly mansion, Shinobu sees Michikatsu injured and Kane holding him, taking him to the medical room. Shinobu goes to Yurichi and asks what happened, so Yurichi tells her what happened and how Michikatsu killed Upper Moon One but had injuries. She looks at Yurichi and says at least he's okay, and she jugs him tight. Yurichi has a slight blush but hugs her back. Kane walks in and asks if it's a bad time. Shinobu breaks the hug quick and walks off to her room blushing. Kane laughs and Yurichi blushes. Kane says that Michikatsu is okay, just needs rest, and Yurichi says okay and goes to his room for the night. Kane goes to Shinobu's room and sees her face down in her pillow, and she sits next to her and asks if she likes Yurichi. Shinobu picks her head up blushing and says maybe. Kane laughs, but she says that she was scared today when she saw Michikatsu and his wounds and how deep they are. She was afraid that he would bleed out and die. She tells Shinobu that she likes Michikatsu and hopes that she will ask her out and wants to go on a date with him. Shinobu laughs and says, well, we like the tsugikuni siblings cause they are cute. Part 2 coming soon. Michikatsu and Kane on a date and Yurichi and Shinobu home alone.